Here we are with Mr. Ryan Hampshire Tuerck, Drift Free or Die, Mobile One, Gardella Racing, Pontiac Solstice GXP. That is a mouthful. What isn't a mouthful is V8 Pontiac Solstice. That's what's happened. It's been debuted, LS7. How does it feel?
You know, the new LS7 in the Mobile One Pontiac Solstice is amazing, man. I've never had that much power before into my foot, so it takes a little bit to get used to, but it's so relative and easy. It's just what I've been looking for the entire year, to just be able to step on a gas and just have the tire smoke just billow out behind a car, and it can get you out of small mistakes a lot easier, and it's just a lot more fun to drive.
So, I mean, you've pretty much driven up and grown up. You've grown up driving turbo cars, and you've only dealt with boost, really. I mean, you really haven't had a V8 Tuerck on-call car. This is your first one. You say it gets you out of predicaments. Can it get you in predicaments too? And how much horsepower and torque are you dealing with here?
I would say it definitely could get you into predicaments. I mean, the amount of wheel speed that the car generates is something you definitely need to get used to. Like when you floor the thing, it generates so much wheel speed. When you let off the gas, that wheel speed is still jolting you forward, so you need to compensate for that. Whereas a four-cylinder doesn't generate as much wheel speed, so when you let off the gas, the wheels are already caught up with the car. And so that's a little bit of a predicament that you need to get used to. And you know, besides that, I mean, there's so many more benefits to it than there are negatives to it. And it's all in how you drive it and how you use the horsepower and torque that it has. And we definitely have a lot of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've modified, obviously, suspension. If you tooled around at the Gardella Racing Camp, you guys are always testing. I mean, like, again, I always talk about your Pro-Am basically campaign with Angerman and your development. You guys are all East Coast. It's admirable. Let's talk about where you stand in standings and how this event, I mean, we're over the hump, round 5. This is we're doing this interview prior to qualifying. Qualifying is very important this year. They basically award more points in qualifying. What does the event mean to you and overall, and where you're standing? Where are you currently standing in points?
I'm currently standing 4th in points in a championship, and you know, I got a ways to go to jump to that #1 spot. So every one of these last events is going to be do or die for me, and you know, every single point counts, every qualifying session counts, and you know, I want to come out of this thing with being a champion. So it's going to be a lot of hard work, and I need to have a little bit of luck on our side. But the Gardella Racing team is doing everything they can for me to make it happen. And, you know, I want to make it happen for them as well.
Well, it's a risky move. I mean, some would say it's even almost deadly. I mean, you know, not to curse you or anything, but switching it up. I know, again, you have a confident team and you guys are very capable, but switching engines mid-season, I mean, that's a huge risk. I mean, that's a huge risk. Talking about more risk, this track is very infamous, not only for, obviously, Formula Drift, but also for you. You did the first ever four-wheeled bunny hop in a car here last year. You and, which driver was it? Whale. You and Whale, you hit the car and you went airborne. We can probably show a clip where you can YouTube right now. What does this track mean to you? I mean, how insane is this track?
This track's nuts, man. Last year and even the year before in 08, I mean, both years are just nuts. The entries are awesome, and those K-rails are pretty serious business. So, and all the clipping points are on the outside, and you're screaming top of 4th gear into them. So it demands a lot of I don't know.
Just focus.
Yeah.
Cojones. Yeah, I got. Okay. It's a family show. It's a family show. All right. Yeah. A lot of commitment and stature and a lot of presence. I think that's what you meant to say.
To be proper.
To be proper. Well, on that note, high fives and handshakes. Ryan Tuerck, Mobile One, now LS7 powered. Gardella Racing, Pontiac Solstice. You can't say GXP anymore. You could say LS7 Solstice.
Pontiac Solstice.
I like it. There you go. Ryan Tuerck.